We got a small group. I'm super excited to share what we've got going on here. Nobody's talking about this. It's frankly, I talk to so many business owners about this exact topic all the time, and so many people are struggling or confused about online, where to go, what to do, who to believe. There's conflicting information about it. Personally, I find it kind of frustrating, and I'm pretty passionate about that whole bit. So now I think it's slowly becoming my mission here to help people figure this stuff out. I've got a great bunch of information here. I think you'll have a few really good takeaways. Um, okay, I just want to see. Can you just let me know if you can hear me all right? Um, Getting some feedback that it's too low. So hopefully is that a little bit better? Thanks for the feedback on that. Um, okay, great. So first thing is I want to know if where you guys are at, if you have a business. We're just going to do this tiny little poll. Um, I'd like to know where you guys are at. If you have a business, yes, no. If you've got multiple businesses, or if you're in the stage where you're thinking about starting something, if you can just answer in there. While we do that, I'd say that also if you could close anything else that may distract or vibrate a phone or anything like that. Um, so far, we've got some yes, and we've got some thinking of starting something. Um, Either way, it doesn't matter if you've got a business, you've got multiple, or you're thinking of getting something going. I think that you're going to find this to be really helpful, super insightful, and I kind of wish somebody had have taken me through something like this years ago. So looks like the vast majority have a business, and maybe a few of you are thinking of starting something. So that's great. So okay, so let's get right to it. My goal from this is that you'll basically one of two things. Well, two things. One, that you'll agree there's an easier way to get customers than starting online, trying to figure out websites, trying to do social media, all that kind of stuff. That's number one. Personally, I don't think that's going to be that hard to convince you. But number two is really the key one, that you'll decide to walk away and use the method that I show you to create huge results in your business. And I'm going to be completely honest. You're going to understand more of what my company is about in a couple minutes. But part of that is I want to see you go out and get success for yourself, for your business, and then do what a business owner does best, which is hire the talent that can help you grow from there. And ideally down the road, as you grow, to hire somebody, whether it's internal or hire a company like mine to help you grow further. So if you stay to the end, I'm going to have some offers and stuff for you. I'm going to have some really great stuff that I think you'll like, a few great takeaways, and really the key to this, what makes this different is nobody is talking about this. I mean, everybody is talking about how you've got to be online, or you've got to have your website, you got to have your social media, and really what started this was I've had this conversation over and over and over, and I kept hearing people. Like, I can remember one woman specifically that I was talking to, and she's a coach, and she's like, I just feel like she said the exact words. I feel like I have to become an online marketing expert just to get customers into my business. And I'm thinking to myself, like, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, you've got a skill set, you've got a talent or a passion or something that you already want to offer, a product or service, whatever that may be. Why why would you go and learn some completely new skill that actually is a full-time thing just to grow your business? And it didn't click with me, and I finally hit this point where I connected the dots between what we do for our clients versus what the average person can do. So it got me kind of got me fired up to take a stand and get out there and start sharing this. So a little bit about who I am. My name is Chris Crawford. I've built a multi-million-dollar company from the ground up without experience, money, or a plan. I'll tell you a little bit more about my actual background. It's a pretty crazy story. I realized along the way that I actually love marketing and sales. It turns out that's the thing that I feel that I have to offer. And now my company works with high-profile clients like Google, Disney, 20th Century Fox, Microsoft, LG Electronics, many, many more. And we also work with a lot of marketing firms, which is really interesting because we're not allowed to talk about it, but we do work for marketing firms that then turn around and do that work for their clients. And it's it's a bummer because I'd love to show off some of the projects we do for them, but we can't. So I'll show you a few of just a few random things I'm really proud of that we've been able to do. We do a lot of movie premiere stuff. So we are basically the company I have is called Kick-Ass Media, and we are kind of like a printing company. We've done a lot of a lot of movie premieres, a lot of red carpet events and stuff. Super fun. We've done a lot of really cool campaigns for brands. Top left, we did something for Olympus, Ford. Bottom right, this fun Skittles campaign. Top right, Vega Foods, like Vega Supplements, if you know their stuff. Last year, we sponsored and did all the communication for a TED event that was happening. So some cool, super cool stuff. Hope you don't mind me bragging a little bit, but definitely want to get some credibility so you guys understand that I do have a lot of experience in this. Over time, I've been able to do cool things and meet some cool people. Had a chance to meet Tony Robbins. Hung out with Lewis Howes. Actually, I just noticed that I have the same shirt on that I did in that photo. That's kind of random, not planned. And Chris Hadfield, the astronaut, down in the bottom right. But you know what I love even more than all that stuff actually is building a team. So this is some pics of my team over time. We love to do goofy things and some crazy adventures. Top right, we went parasailing. Bottom right, a few years ago when the team was smaller, we went down and hung out in Mexico for a few days. A couple other pics of us goofing off. And here's the thing, I just want to say is that I'm not going to share some kind of like get rich quick scheme, some like laptop lifestyle from Thailand selling like that. That's not what this is about. And if that's what you're looking for, that's cool. I'm not gonna knock that, but that's not what I'm offering. What I really want to talk about is how you build a business that you're proud of. Something that you put your name behind, you build it, you're proud of it. It makes a difference, whether for other people, for your community, for your family, whatever that may be. And it took me 10 years to get to where I am now. So over the course of that, I've done a lot of things right, but I would say I've done a lot more things wrong. And this picture I think is funny. It reminds me, God, this is like literally 9 years ago. I feel like I look like I don't have a clue in that photo, but I realized a few things. One, you have to spend your time where you're passionate and excited. So do you ever notice how when you're passionate, you're excited, whether it's you're talking about your product, your service, your skill set, whatever that zone is, that you could work on that 7 days a week. You don't even need to think about it, and you just keep driving. That's where you need to spend your time. But learning to sell your product or service is the key to survival, and I'll tell you about my survival in a minute. And if you don't love marketing, don't do it. So good marketing is it's about data analytics. It's looking at, okay, where did people click? Where did they go? What were words that they came in on? What were dropout rates? What were bounce rates? Like all that, email campaigns and click-through rates. Like you have to love data analytics if you're really going to love marketing. But you need sales to survive. Like if you don't have sales, unfortunately, you won't survive. And I heard a quote that went something like, unfortunately, a bad product or service can do really well with awesome marketing and sales, but the best product or service can fail with bad marketing and sales. And I think it's a bummer. I see a lot of good business owners struggling and a lot of people that can't figure out how to get their thing off the ground. And so I discovered this the hard way. You get to cheat a little bit and get the easy way, and that's why we're sitting here. And so the hard way to me, this is me as I thought this was a hilarious photo, Mad Hatter at a Halloween event. So I quit my job. I'd been working at a company for about 10 years. And it wasn't that it was horrible. It's just it wasn't for me. Like I was making okay money. I wasn't excited. I wasn't passionate. I was just, it kind of got to that Groundhog Day where it was day in and day out. I was just going to work and going for a paycheck, and I was miserable, and I just felt like I was capable of something more. I had to do something, so I quit. I quit my job. I didn't have any money. I didn't have like venture backing and education and plan. And to be honest, I actually was a high school dropout, which most people have no idea of, and I don't share that a lot. And I spent years not having a clear marketing plan, just trying whatever I could think of and going door to door. So here's what happened. I started my business. I had this idea. Within 6 months, it wasn't working out, and I was struggling, and I had a little bit of money saved. I was burning through it. Within a year, I was totally broke. Like I was lower than broke. Like I was in the hole. I was having, creditors calling. I couldn't keep up on my bills. It was absolutely brutal. And, all the people around me were telling me to quit. They saw how bad my life was going at this point. And I don't know, maybe you're like me. I always find the biggest struggles I've been through, so oftentimes I learn the most from. But I had so many people telling me quit, like this isn't gonna work, this isn't gonna happen, like maybe you should go back to that job. And I'd love to hear like how many of you feel like people around you maybe either they tell you to quit or they don't really necessarily support your thing, or maybe they don't believe it for you. I'd love to hear from you guys. There should be a little chat window in there. Let me see if I can get that open. There should be a little chat window. I'd love to hear from you if you find that you have the same thing. And I ended up spending hours and hours and hours learning marketing and sales. Like I remember just sitting up late nights, studying marketing, trying to figure it out. And at that time, all it was about was just getting a customer. That's it. I was just like, how do I just get the next customer? How do I get the next customer? Because it really became about survival, about paying the bills, about being them to eat. Um, or sorry, getting them to eat, being able to eat. And it was brutal, it was absolutely brutal. And I almost went bankrupt, and I did almost quit a few times, but I kept going. Thank God, I look at the company I have now. I'm in our office. Everybody's gone home for the day, and I feel really blessed and really grateful to have what I have now. Over time, as I started making money, I was spending thousands, tens of thousands on ads and getting website work done and getting ripped off. Like I remember scraping together enough money to hire this guy to do a website, and I paid $5,000, and which actually is not even that bad to get website work done now. And then in the end, I didn't even get anything. Like literally, it produced zero. And I find this so often. I'll go out and I'll talk to people, or people that even think that they know marketing, and they're talking about likes and shares on posts and things like that. And don't get me wrong, that's cool, but those are vanity goals. I mean, real marketing goals are generating revenue. And it's not about being salesy, but it's being realistic about this business has got to grow and it's got to survive. So that's where I was going the hard way. Now, I'm going to share with you the easy way that I think is faster, less expensive, and you don't have to learn online marketing skills. I'm sure that anybody would want to learn that, but here's the thing. The results are up to you. And I guess you can call it maybe a little bit of a disclaimer. Like, I'll back up results when people take action, but if people don't follow through the process step by step, I can't guarantee the results. This is not some get-rich-quick scheme. I do think that, for people that drive super hard, they can get results really fast. But this is not, like I said, some get rich from your laptop in Thailand selling other people the idea of getting rich from the laptop in Thailand. This is about building a business you're proud of. So what I'm going to share are 3 secrets. Secret number 1 is you don't have to do some crafty online thing to get customers. Secret number 2 is that other strategies that are easier and cheaper can get you huge results. And secret number 3 is in one day with the right offline strategy, you can get months worth of sales or leads or clients or customers or whatever it may be. And this works for any industry. All right, so secret number 1, you don't have to do some online thing to get customers. And actually, a lot of large brands like the ones that we work with only spend 30% of their marketing online. And what's really happened is that there's an idea being sold that it has to happen online. And my recommendation to most business owners now is potentially you don't even need a website to start at all. Because it's like, do you know what the goal of your website actually is? That's a whole other thing. I don't want to go too deep into that. But large brands are spending their money and their time and their efforts offline because they know that the power of a live interaction is you're 86% more likely to become a customer if you have a live interaction. So think about when you have that one-on-one conversation. You build a relationship, right? When you have the opportunity to talk to a potential client or customer or whatever one-on-one, you understand more about them and you connect on a deeper level. But it's all about having the right strategy around that, which we're going to get into. And before the internet came along, companies were doing really well. And it was funny because somebody said to me once, they're like, well, what about somebody like Tony Robbins who's got this huge following of people online? I'm like, oh, that's a weird example. But I said, okay, well, actually, Tony Robbins is a good example. He's got millions online, but he was killing it before the internet was even a thing. Whether you like him or not, that's besides the point. It's more about these people that have these followings. Well, sure, he did infomercials, but he was really busy even before that. And it's the same thing with so many brands and so many people. It's also kind of like the do you know the whole oh, what is that? The idea of overnight success, like overnight success. This person was an overnight success. I mean, it's such BS, right? You ever hear somebody that talks about how people think they're an overnight success? They say, yeah, it took me years of work to become an overnight success. So it's the same idea with this. People think that there's huge stuff happening online, and yeah, there are pockets of businesses that do really well online. And I would actually say that the best strategy is a mix of online and offline, but if it's not your talent, it's not where you should start. So what I'm curious about is how many of you have a website or a Facebook page, but does it really do anything for you? So I want to send this out and get a little bit of feedback. Let's see here. If you don't mind, take a second, answer. If you've got a website or Facebook page, or you've done email marketing, and yes, it's gotten you a lot of customers, or yes, you did it and it didn't get any, or you did it and you don't know what the result was, or you haven't even tried. So if you don't mind, take a quick second. I kind of want to see where you guys are at. I'll share the results with you guys, because it is really confusing for a lot of people. A lot of times people don't know what that actually looks like. So we're getting some mixed results. We're getting some saying, yes, they didn't get customers. Some saying, the majority actually saying that they did, but they're not sure what happened. We do have one or two that did get customers from it, so that's awesome. And then what I'm going to share, I would say to connect with that, and offline and online together is really powerful. So the result is the vast majority of you did, but weren't sure what happened. And that comes down to being able to understand how to look at the data, which is probably the hardest part. Here, I'll share that. So this is the result of what came from that. Thank you for everyone for taking a second to answer that. So by far, it's people doing stuff and not knowing what the result really is. I mean, that's crazy, right? That we're going to put that kind of effort. So here, we sell a lot online. We have a really successful online strategy, but what that is, it's about going from a certain percentage will click the website, a certain percentage will opt into email, a percentage will answer the emails, and then so many will actually get on the phone with sales, and then so many of those will close. And it's like all those steps that they have to go through, we look at all the percentages, and we know the numbers, but it's taken me years to get that mastered. And I love marketing. I'm excited. I get excited when I wake up in the morning to go look at, like, oh, I created that thing. Did somebody click on that? What does my data look like? So that's why I'm like, if you're not excited about looking at data and being a big geek like I am, don't do it. Get somebody that can do it for you. Well, first, go out and let's make a bunch of money so that you can have the cash flow to hire somebody to look at that stuff. So secret number 2, other strategies that are easier and cheaper can get huge results. It's actually inexpensive to go out and engage with your potential customers with the right strategy, one-on-one. And so think about what businesses did before the internet. And this is kind of the same thing I was saying before, is how many people do you personally know that have huge online businesses versus the hype of it all? It's like the 1 in a million. Like for every huge business that you see online that has a major platform, there's probably a million other businesses that are getting nothing from online and struggling. And actually, it's because you have to hire web developers, designers, test ads, manage social media, and creating email campaigns. It's expensive and time consuming, and you as a business owner should be spending your time doing whatever it is that you do best, which maybe that's delivering your product or creating your service or whatever. Maybe that's hiring and recruiting people for your team, whatever it may be, right? So I want to give you a little example. I just recently was talking with somebody, and I don't really want to share his name because if he were to come on, it maybe he wouldn't be happy about sharing. But he was telling me him and his girlfriend were all in. They want to start this health. It's like a coaching thing that they want to do, and they hired somebody. They paid him 15 grand to build this website, and they had worked really hard and saved a bunch of money, and they were so excited, and they were like grinding through. And he's like, yeah, we dedicated the time. We were creating all this stuff, and we were doing it all. And now they're slowly running out of money. And he's like, now we've got this website, it's almost done, but I don't even understand how we're going to get any customers. And I was like, I was feeling this like wrench in my gut because I didn't want to tell him like, oh, you did it all wrong or you shouldn't have done that. I didn't want to slam what the guy was doing. I mean, I feel like that kind of be a crappy thing to do. But at the same time, I also wanted to be like, look, man, you don't even need a website. Like you could have actually gone out with the right strategy, gotten a lot of customers, gotten flush with cash, then went and hired your developer and had that person take it to another level. So anyway, that's a spiel. I feel for these people because I've been there and I've struggled really hard. So secret number three is that in one day with the right strategy, you can get months worth of leads, customers, sales, clients, whatever it may be. So what big brands do is they go to the right place with the right message. They fill up their leads by having conversations with those people, and they have a strategy of how they're going to communicate with those leads. Okay, it's not hard, but it does take a clear, repeatable plan. Once it's built, it's actually super inexpensive to repeat. You get better and better and better as you do it, and you build confidence. Like this is the key to it all. All you need to do is have conversations with the right people, but you have to use a proven method. So I like to talk about the right people. What are the right people? So I'm curious. I bet a lot of you have had the experience. For those of you that have a business, where you've got a few different kinds of customers that come to you, and there's some that come and you love to work with them and they're excited to work with you and they've got the money to spend and it's amazing and you're just like, I want more of those people. But then you've got the other people that come along and they don't have any money, or they grind you on price, they want discount, they want all your time, they want to like, they're never happy. And it's like, we've got both these customers and we deal with it still. We deal with that, the same thing all the time, of the ideal and the not ideal customer. And what that really comes down to, and I know that I mentioned this a little bit later, but it's the thing that it's like the difference between having the ideal versus the not is where either you're discounting and you're overworked, or you're in the zone and you're making money. So this is all true in any industry, with any product, any service, and it's absolutely powerful. So I hope that you see that trying to start online may not be the best idea, or at least an alternative strategy can be really good for you. So I'm going to give you an example campaign strategy that will get you more conversations, turn those conversations into customers. It's easier, cheaper, and faster than online. So I hope you guys are excited to check that out, because this is it. Like this is the money right here. So the step number one is it's really about like creating I'm going to call it an explosive campaign plan. It must be built around one product or service. This is key. And for those of you that have multiple products, multiple services, whatever it may be, I would really urge you to consider building a campaign around one product. And when I say campaign, don't let that word overcomplicate this. I'm really just talking about a conversation strategy around that one product or service. And the one that I would pick is one that you can scale, or you can do a lot of. It's profitable for you and you really enjoy it. Like I think that's the trifecta, right? Like that's the zone. You can do it easily, it's super profitable, and you enjoy it. So I'll give you an example of how this worked in my business. So when I started out and I was going door to door, I was selling signs and printing. Like we're actually a printing company. And so I was going door to door and I was selling everything I can, from signs, printing, business cards, vehicle graphics, storefront signs, like all this stuff. Most stuff I didn't even know how to make. I was actually outsourcing it, and that's a whole other story. And then I started to learn this and understand like, oh, I need to build this campaign around one thing. And so I had a few customers ask me for step and repeat backdrops. So a step and repeat are those red carpet backdrops, the the ones with all the logos on them that are like people use for like movie premieres and stuff like that. So here's a picture of one. We did this one for the Eddie, if you know that movie, Eddie the Eagle, that came out a little while back. We did this backdrop. Now, in the beginning, our stuff did not look this good. Like there was a point where it was me and another guy, like we were outsourcing. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. It was nowhere near like this. So I do not, by any means, I do not want you to think like, oh, these guys had some special gift or skill, because I didn't. Like, trust me, I had no clue. But I realized that this was the product that I really wanted to focus on. It was scalable, it was profitable, and I actually really enjoyed it. I thought that it was super cool. So I'm going to use that as the example. So I'll go back just to make sure you got that. So step number one, build it around one product or service. And here's the key things that I would recommend you consider. scalable, profitable, and you enjoy it. Okay? So step number two is it needs to be built around an ideal client. This goes back to what I was saying before. You've got good customers and you've got bad customers, right? You've got, I don't want to say bad, maybe they're not bad. Maybe they are bad. But the good ones, the good ones, the ones that you love to work with and they have the money to spend. So in my business, when I clicked into this, I was like, man, we started to focus on this one product, and all of a sudden there were all these people buying it, and our sales really started to grow. And so we went from actually, like the 1 year I did 20,000, and it's amazing. I've got the tax returns, like I keep those things, like I should get them framed on the wall. So we did under 20,000 in revenue 1 year. So under 20,000 in revenue, that means my costs and everything had to come out of that. Like I was in the hole, it was brutal. And the very next year I did 150,000. The next year after that it was 225, and we kept growing like crazy. And it was when we did this. So and we built it around marketing teams, marketing firms. So we thought, well, marketing firms are buying lots of this one product, so we want to sell it to those people that are buying lots. All right. So step number three is to create a message that compels that customer to buy. And where most people struggle on this is they sell on features and benefits. And I don't believe on selling on features and benefits. I believe on selling on purpose. And when you sell on purpose, then your customer is like, they're tractor beamed into that because you speak to them at a whole other level. And this is the difference of why some people sound salesy and some people don't. Salesy people sell on features that they care about, and other people sell on purpose. So step number three is the message has to compel them to buy, right? Now step number four is to put your message where they are, is to get out and set that up so that you can have the conversation in the place where they are. Go fishing where the fish are. Get in front of more of your audience with the right message, and they'll tractor beam into you. I'm going to give you an example of this here in a minute. Step number five is to create a communication follow-up strategy. And really all I mean is go into your conversation with a clear plan. Don't just hope that it works out. It should be structured. You should understand when you go into that conversation, what do you want to get out of it? You want to follow up. You want to nurture them. Here we've got a whole strategy around it. Like we go through it with the sales team all the time, and it's not about being salesy. It's just about being smart and being structured. And so I'd really urge you to. I know some people they're like, oh, sales, and they kind of. To me, good sales is when you find the way that you can serve that customer. When you understand that what that customer needs and you give them what they really need. And in my office, one of the big things is that my salespeople are told, like, not told, but encouraged basically, is that when they go through it with a customer, if we don't have the right product or service, it's not just about selling, it's about doing the right thing. And if we have to refer them somewhere else, or if we sell them a cheaper product, I mean, we do what's right. And to me, that's good sales. So this may sound like a lot of steps, but once you learn this and you really understand it and it clicks, it becomes a no-brainer. So in one day, in the right place, with the right plan, you can connect with hundreds of customers and create explosive results. This is what big brands do. Like, this is what big brands have been doing forever, and they're still taking advantage of it, and this is what nobody's talking about. It's unbelievable. So what I want you to consider right at this moment is how many customers would you need to radically change your business, and could you dedicate 1 or 2 days a month to go out and do this kind of strategy? So I'll get more into exactly what that looks like, but let me give you an example here. So this is an example of Panasonic. So as I told you, our ideal client are marketing people, and we use the step-by-step strategy to go set up at a marketing show in Toronto. We created our targeted message to that audience, and our total cost was only a couple of $100 to do this whole thing, right? So we go there, and it was actually Jordan that went. I know Jordan reached out and called some of you today. So Jordan went there, and we had this set up. We were super busy, and we ended up getting tons of leads from it, and it was hilarious because there was literally a print company on each side of us. On the left, they were talking about how they've been in business for 70 years, and on the right, they were going on about all those buzzwords that companies put, like top quality and integrity and service, and here we are in the middle. We're Kick-Ass Media, and they're, to those other companies, they were like, oh, what do these guys know? And our booth was so busy. It wasn't even a booth, it was just a table. Our little spot was so busy. We had all these clients, and those guys had crickets, and I'm just like, this is the power of knowing what the heck you're doing. So anyway, we're there, super busy, tons of leads. Turns out that a contact from Panasonic was there. They saw our message. They were sucked in. They had a conversation with Jordan. He followed the process step by step, and boom, he turned them into a client. And we ended up doing this project for Panasonic. And so it was like, to me, I'm like, oh my God, like for a few $100 and in a day's time, we got a ton of leads. Like I don't even remember how many he got, which I should get actually for this. It'd probably be ideal. But we pulled that one big account. Now that may not be the kind of client you're going for. It's about you understanding your ideal client and the number that you need. Maybe it's not about getting one big one. Maybe it's about getting 100 other ones. But it was literally that easy. So just to go through that again, our ideal was marketing people. We went through and did the setup. We created the targeted message. It was a good cost. We were busy, Panasonic, and they were pulled in. And this is the key part of it is about creating this message that tractor beams your audience in and makes them want to talk to you. And then we ended up bringing them on, and they did this. I think they were launching a shaver or something, and I think we ended up outfitting this as a national campaign or something like that. So for us, big accounts can easily spend 25,000 in a single purchase, and we could go land multiple of those in one day with the right strategy at the right place. That may not be the same for you. Maybe it's less, maybe it's more. It doesn't really matter. It's about how many do you need in that day. So how many days do you have to spend? And for most people, what I found is 1 or 2 days a month. And actually sometimes it's like one day every like 3 to 6 months is more than enough than what most people can handle for their business. So Jordan's sales last month alone were 42,000, which I'm really excited. He hasn't even been here that long. And so I think that's awesome. So keep in mind that when I started, I had no experience and no clue. Like I don't want you at this moment being like, oh, they've got some skill, they've got some talent, they've got something. I was feeling so bad that everybody told me to quit, and it took me 10 years to come up and master this process. So here's the other crazy part of it, is that when I was struggling super hard and everybody was telling me to quit, now that I've got this huge company and this awesome office and a team, and they see my lifestyle and they see everything like that, they're like, oh, you've got some gift, you've got some skill that I don't have. And I'm like, dude, seriously, like, are you kidding me? You were the guy sitting there telling me to quit, telling me it wasn't going to work, and now just because I struggled through long enough until I finally figured it out, you're going to tell me that I've got some kind of gift? Like, I don't know. It gets me fired up even just thinking about it, because I love those people, and they love me too, and that's why they told me to quit, because they were worried about me. And now when I'm like, look, you can do your own thing, or I've got people that I know struggling with businesses, and they're like, I'm not like you. And I'm like, it's just, sorry, I get fired up about that. Anyway, so here's what I want you to think about, is how many customers would you need a month to transform your business? Like 5, 10, 50, 100. I mean, everybody's business is different. I'm a huge believer in setting goals. Write it down, put it out there. So what I'd ask you to do, take 2 seconds, write this down. Like, just imagine it for a second. How many customers would you, if you were to spend a day a month or whatever, or how many per month would you like to get, or per day, or however it works for your business? So if you can see, my team made me this mug. I got to show this off. Oh yeah, that's right, best boss ever. Oh yeah, and it was Christmas gift last year. Okay, so set the goal, write it down. I don't know. Crazy things happen when you write goals down. It's like you put it in the universe, or you put it in your heart, or something happens. I'm not getting into that. That's not that kind of call, but I do believe in that. So how much revenue, if you look at that number, whether maybe it's one, if you're in real estate and you only need a few clients, or if you're selling products and you need 100, how much revenue could those customers create for you? And so then I'd like you to consider, how would that change your life? And what would that free you from? So like, I talked to some business owners and they're like, oh, I'm fine where I'm at, I'm okay. They're just getting by, and they're barely above paycheck to paycheck, or maybe they're making a little bit of money, and I'm like, yeah, but what happens if you get hurt? Or what happens if you get sick and you can't work? Like, for us entrepreneurs, like, here's the thing, guys, we're a tribe that has to look out for ourselves, because I can tell you that the government and all that kind of, like, it's not about getting into that, but the programs aren't there as much to support the entrepreneur as it is to support the employee. And so you got to look out for yourself. But then I also think too, what about your family or your friends? Like, what if somebody in your family needs support, or what if your friends, and those things drive me. Maybe that doesn't drive you, and don't let me tell you what you should be motivated by. But I would urge you to consider how much revenue could those customers create for you? What would that do in your life to be able to do that? So then, how many days would you be willing to go out and do that kind of strategy to change your life, explode your business? Like, would you be willing to put 1 or 2 days per month or per quarter or whatever it may be? Like, we don't need that many days out to go, as you can see, like we go out and pull that kind of client. And then frankly, my production department can't keep up with that kind of work anyway. So, I mean, we're growing like crazy. It's going really well. We're growing at a rate of about 35% per year, which is phenomenal. And so, how many days have you thought about posting on Facebook or hoping customers would come from somewhere else, or you did post on Facebook and then you were wondering if it was going to do anything, or was anybody going to like it or share it? Like, I've done the post, and then like all day long I'm like checking my notifications, like I'm going in there and I'm looking, has anybody liked it? Anybody shared? Anybody? Like, that sucks. Like, it's so annoying. Um, to me, it's wasted money. It's wasted time. Like, we waste so much money so easily on frivolous things, silly things, and but the wasted time is like the biggest thing for me, because I look at time is like the thing that we have. So now I hope that to this point you're like, okay, this is kind of making sense, and you're seeing how this could actually make a difference in your business. And I want to ask, as this training session, would you agree that it's been worth it? Being able to think about your product, identify the audience, dig deeper into what's going on there. But I can't cover the entire process in an hour, or however long we've been, 40 minutes. Even if we had all day, I can't go through the whole thing, but I'd love to be able to help you out. So I am gonna give you an offer that you can learn from this. You can learn it for yourself and be able to make a change. So really what that's about is the customer digging deep into what motivates them, and the understanding the buyer's awareness journey. Where are they in their buying stage? And I want to make sure that you've got that compelling message that you can make a difference. And if you act fast, I'm going to give you an opportunity, because here's the thing. You'll be thrilled when you go out and try this and kickstart your business. And then what are those people going to say? What are the people that like were there? They didn't believe it. Do you think that people would say the same to you, where it's like, oh, that person's got some skill or some gift, which was absolutely crazy. But old habits die hard. And that's why I get fired up about this most, is that we can have the idea, we can have the insight, but what happens tomorrow when we wake up, or the day after? Will we follow through? Will we take action? And we've all bought books and we've not finished them. We've put them on the shelf. We've all had the idea. We've all set some kind of goal. We've all wanted to do something, and it's not really come to fruition. And sometimes it's those actions that would make the difference. And for me, the reason I decided to start sharing this and really get into this is because, I think about the businesses that are struggling. I think about the people that I talk to, like the guy that I met, like the woman that got me onto, that idea of the online marketing expert. And I think about those people that are like, oh, they've got something good. And I see good businesses that fail all the time. And it's not because they're bad people. It's not because they had bad businesses. Oftentimes, I've seen really good businesses with really good service that go under, and they just didn't know how to get their product out there. And I'm taking my little stand in my corner of the world to make a difference for whatever that's worth. And what I've decided is I'm actually getting ready to do a public release of a course. And this is the initial of when I'm just really talking about it. And if you guys are interested, I'd actually like to share the pre-offer before that whole thing goes, to give you the opportunity to go through and take it all in. So here's what's going to be included in that. Going deep into the marketing, because this is really about what big brands have trained departments that are ready to do and are working away on. So number one is setting up your product strategy, which is a $1,500 value, and the key starting point, and then mapping your customer persona. Those two key pieces alone are the biggest deal, and the customer persona is the thing that what people are paying the most for to get done. The next part is creating a campaign message. So it's that step-by-step process where you go deep into the person, you figure out what is the motivating factor in that person, what is it that makes that person, like the contact from Panasonic. Like Jordan came back and he said, he was like, she literally walked up to me and was like, I don't know what it is about your booth, but I had to come up and talk to you. Meanwhile, there was two print companies on either side that had no idea probably who she was, that would have been chomping at the bit to get that kind of customer. And also going to include in here is an online support community, kind of like a mastermind group. And online masterminds are usually going for about $1,000 value. And so we're going to include that in this as well. So the whole value of this is $5,984. But here's who it's worked for. So business owners selling products, real estate agents, service people, graphic designers, health products and services, coaches and trainers, basically any industry, any product, or any service. The step-by-step process, it doesn't matter the industry, it doesn't matter the scale of the kind of client you're going after. It could literally be, actually that guy that I talked to who was doing the health thing, I ended up talking to him about going to entrepreneurial events and connecting with other entrepreneurs to motivate them into his program. And when I sat and we went through this whole thing, he was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And he was stoked. And so he's going to finish his website, all that. Don't worry, I'm not letting him off. I'm going to stay on that guy. So here's the thing. I had two choices, right? My first option was to do this and go as cheap as possible. And I you know, this was a new thing for me, and I was really unsure about how to build it out. And so I'm like, okay, I can go cheap and I can try to sell as many as possible, but then it's hard to want to really put the value in there and really stack it. Or I can go a little bit higher, but in exchange, I can put more resources in, I can include my team and get that kind of involved. So here's what you're going to get if you want to join me. I mean, I'd love to work with you, and I'd love to have you come along, and I hope that you can understand and you can see that this is a key thing. So all those key pieces in there, but for the first 30 people that come in, I'm also going to include the call with Jordan. So Jordan was the guy that did the Panasonic thing, and he was also calling out to some people today, reminding about the call tonight. I don't know if he talked to you or any of you or not, but a call with him. Basically, when you're at that point, when you're like, okay, I want to go out and do my campaign, or I want to go out and start conversations. Like, this could be big or it could be small. Like, it doesn't have to be some huge complicated thing. It could be simple. It can fit whatever it is, wherever you are with your business or where your client is. When you're ready to go out and pull those people in for conversations, you're going to be able to get on and do a strategy call with Jordan. He'll talk about your message. He'll talk about your stuff and go through it step by step and look at it. And that value just for that one phone call is $250. And then we're also, if you need it, if you decide that you're going to do it, we're going to include a graphic designer from my team from Kick-Ass Media at a $400 value. This is only going to 20 people to be able to work with that designer, and she'll take care of designs. So here's everything you're going to get. Like this is, I know this is a little bit crazy, but the product strategy, which is $1,500 value, your customer persona, where we can go in, we're going to find what the motivating factors are. We're going to create the campaign message so that we track or beam them in. You'll get the online support community where I'll be on there all the time. What we're going to do is live calls, and you're going to be able to ask your questions, and anywhere that you're struggling and anywhere that you're hung up, or you can share your wins or whatever, we'll have the conversations online. You get the call with Jordan, and you get access to the Kick-Ass Media designer, all that valued at $6,634. So think about this for a second. If all this did was make your business profitable, would it be worth it? If it gave you a kick in the butt to go get out there and really get started and really like hustle and push harder, would it be worth it? And if it got you a handful of clients per month, would that be worth it? Because what is each customer worth to you? You know, what are they worth over a lifetime? What is a single customer worth? You know, $1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 25,000. I don't know. You know your industry. You know your client. Remember, we're talking about ideal. We're not just talking about bad clients, but the ones that you most want to work with. And you know, how much would you pay to get a few more per month? So you can see what others are paying thousands of dollars, you know, just to look at their marketing. Large brands are spending way more. It's actually crazy what they spend. I can't really disclose that kind of thing, but they know the power of getting hundreds of clients per month going through this. And so you can see why this is easily a good deal at $5,000. But I'm doing this for $997 for a public release, and this is because I've just revamped this whole thing. Or I say revamp, but actually I've just created this whole thing which is like my 10 years of experience all into it. But what I'm going to do for you guys is $397. I mean, come on. So all you've got to do is go to my website, chriscrawford.ca/sign up. It has to be to that exact link, and you can use this new launch coupon code to get that price, because this is $1,000 on that website right now, and you have to use that coupon to sign up. And it's at chriscrawford.ca/sign up. What I'm also going to include as another bonus is lifetime access, that when you sign up to the course, you get everything in there, the step-by-step process. I'm going to be updating this over time, because this is brand new, right? So as I refine it and go through it and practice it, and I'm going to be increasing the price over time, and more people are coming in, I'm going to, you guys are going to have the lifetime access. So for, if in a couple of years from now even you start another business, or you grow, or you've got sales reps or people that you want to have come back and go through this program, you're going to be able to share that with them. I'm totally cool with that. And the value of that's going to be thousands for sure. So you can get started for $397 at chriscrawford.ca/sign up. And remember, new launch is the coupon code. So I was talking about this, and I had somebody ask me why I'm doing this so cheap, and I'm just going to tell you straight up. My goal is, I want you to go through this. I want you to go out there and start getting customers and make more money. And when you do, I want you to come back and work with us. I mean, I'm going to be totally transparent. I like to look for the win-win. I'm about building relationships, and what I've learned over time is that when you add value to other people, they'll add value to you. And that's what I want, is you to go out, crush it, make money, come back and go, all right, I'm generating revenue. I want to work with somebody who's going to help me now take my stuff to a whole other level, and come back and work with my company. So look, you have two choices. So you can do nothing and not take this leap of faith, which is 100% risk-free. I'll get into that. I am offering full money back guarantee, so you can get in, check it out, and if you don't like it, I'll give you that back. Or you can pay the small investment today, compared to all the value that you get, and return it in a shot. And if it works, great. But if not, just ask for your money back, because here's a guarantee. So if you sign up today and you don't like it for any reason, I don't care if it's 29 days from now or 23 hours and 59 minutes from now, just let me know and we'll give you your money back. That's it. That's how Kickass Media, part of the reason that we've been able to work with the clients that we work with, is because I'm a big believer in over delivering in your guarantees and your warranties and everything like that. Like, we do lifetime warranty on our products. I don't know another company in the industry that offers lifetime warranty. I stole some of that from Zappos. I don't know if you guys know the Zappos story. Anyway, I'm getting off on a side tangent, but I'm passionate about making sure people feel taken care of. Because here's the thing. When you don't have the right strategy, you don't attract the right clients, and then you have to discount your time or product, and they're more demanding. And before we knew this stuff, we were having to lower our prices and give discounts to our customers, because we had bad marketing, or basically we had no strategy. So what I mean by that is, do you ever notice that when you attract those wrong customers, you're having to lower your prices or give discounts? Like, if you ever feel like think about when you look at most businesses, how do they advertise? Sale. They're like, we've got a sale on, we've got a discount, we've got a fall sale, we've got a Boxing Day thing. They have to do sales because they actually don't have marketing strategy, because they don't know how to connect with people on a more emotional level that makes people go like, I don't know what it is, but I've got to work with you. So anyway, let me share the tale of two people. On one side, you've got somebody doing it the hard way, that's like, no, I'm just going to do this myself. I'm going to try to struggle it out. And, it's 8 years. I'll be 10 years September 1st this year. But like, I feel like I was really learning this for about 8 years to refine it. Or on the other hand, you can take the fast way, which is a proven step-by-step strategy. And it's funny, you take the hard way and people are going to tell you to quit. You take the easy way and people are going to think that you have some skill. Don't think about other people, think about you. So here's the step-by-step process of what to do next. Go to chriscrawford.ca/sign up, use the coupon code new launch, get ready to jump in. This is going live on Monday. Like I said, this is a pre-launch for you guys. So this is going to be live on Monday. That coupon code's not going to be available anymore. And then we're going to celebrate your success. We'll also have I think it'll be in there when you log in. There will be the link to the online community that you'll be able to join. You can reach out and talk to Jordan at any point. That's always available. I would urge that you wait though until you get ready to really go out and he can look through your stuff and talk to you about that. So this is everything that you're going to get. We're going to go through, we're going to map your product strategy, which is $1,500 value. We're going to map your customer persona. I'm going to give you it's a full course video documents, the step-by-step process, map your customer persona. We're going to show you how to create a campaign message that you can go out there and you can connect with those clients. You're going to be able to come to the online support community any time of day, anywhere. The community's new, but it's going to build fast. We're going to be building it quickly, getting a lot of people in there. We'll also be in there answering questions. Myself, Jordan, probably a couple other people from my team are going to get involved. Everybody's pretty excited about this. It's something different for our company. You get the Jordan strategy call. That alone is probably worth the money for most people. And access to the Kickass Media Designer if you need that. And then lifetime access to the course. So it's $6,600 value that we're doing for the public at $1,000. And today we're doing it for $397. So don't forget, you have to use that coupon code. Like you literally have to save it and go over there and type it in. So it's chriscrawford.ca/signup. And it's, like I said, it's on the site right now for $1,000, and that's it. So I want to hear any questions. Like if you have anything that you want to ask at this point, I'm wide open to answer the questions. I'd love to see you guys jump in. I'd love to get involved and help you take your business to the other level, at another level, and really get results. I mean, you know, like I can't say enough about how powerful this is when you really get this dialed. Excuse me. What I realize, most people actually don't know what awesome marketing and sales strategy actually looks like. Like I've had, you know, I've had conversations with people that weren't working with us, and I start explaining it to them, and I'm like, well, you know, what is your sales pipeline, or what is your marketing, you know, what does all that look like? And when I start sharing, like, well, we get about 150 to 200 leads per month coming in, and those leads are, I mean, our leads are anywhere from, we still get the customers that want to come in and spend a few $100s, but you know, all the way up to the Disneys and the Googles. I mean, they're coming in too. We get a couple hundred a month. Generally, we've got more leads than my sales team can handle, and most people have no idea what that business is like. So I'm in the print industry, which most people consider to be dying. You know, I talk to people all the time. They're like, "Oh, you're in print," blah. And I'm like, "No, we're in print. Yes, like it is amazing. We're growing like crazy." And so then I explain to people, this is what it looks like, and it's like I never have a conversation with anybody that actually can grasp what I'm talking about because they've never seen that kind of success, because they've never built that kind of campaign. Like it is so rare. So a guy that used to work for me, this guy Dave. Actually, he was the guy in the beginning. He worked with me for a long time, and we're still really tight. He doesn't work here anymore. He left to start a marketing company because he's like, we learned all this stuff together. And so he left and he started his own marketing firm. And he's currently, I can't really say, but he's at this large company. They're mega. They're definitely international. I'd say they're probably worldwide. And he's now doing right in their marketing department, and he came back and he's like, man, he's like, your marketing stuff is more powerful than what I'm seeing at this company. So he went in there, and there's people, I think there's like 40 some people in their marketing department alone, like from web designers to this to that to the other thing, and they're all looking at him like, we have no idea what we're doing, like everything that he says. And so it's a big boost for his ego, and he loves to come back to me and brag, and he's all pumped up, and he's like, oh my god, these people, like, they think that I'm like brilliant. But at the same time, it's also like, this is sad kind of, because it's like nobody seems to know what's going on out there. So anyway, I'm super stoked that I've been able to learn this, and I look at it was my struggles and challenges and the hardest moments that got me through, but also making tough decisions. There was a lot of tough decisions that felt outside my comfort zone, and those were the ones that helped me grow. So not having anybody, unless I'm missing it, I'm not having anybody asking questions, but I'm wide open if you want to ask me anything. Don't forget, this is only going to be up for a little while. $397 cost or value for you guys, because it is on the site at $997, and then chances are I think shortly I'll probably put that price up because I've just got so much stuff in here. Um, so trying to think what else I could share. Um, yeah, so actually one thing I do remember was that there was a point where I was struggling a little bit, and I needed to get my head straight. And I saw Tony Robbins' event, and I know I brought him up before. I'm a bit of a Tony fan, and I saw his event. It felt outside my comfort zone. It was like, I don't know, 500 or 600 bucks to go to the event. And you ever notice how when you commit to something, it's like things just seem to work out. Like even when it seems outside your comfort zone, it's like there's two people inside of us. There's the part of us that's like and there's the part of us that has doubt. And actually, I read a really great book. I'd say write this down if you're into to checking stuff out. 5 Second Rule. This girl Mel, I think her name's Mel Robbins, ironically. She wrote this book about how we've got 5 seconds until fear and doubt and resistance comes in. But if we don't act in that 5 seconds, we're going to miss it. Anyway, I read that, changed my life, got me up. I stopped hitting my snooze button. That's a whole other thing. So there's power when you say yes and you expand into it. And I remember going to Tony Robbins' event, which was already outside my comfort zone, and then he's there talking about his business mastery and his life mastery and all this stuff, and it was like 10,000 bucks, and I'm like, oh my God, there's no way I can afford to go to that kind of thing. But getting to the point where I was like, you know what, I'll figure it out. And it was like when you commit to that level, something takes you to that zone, and I don't know, it's a crazy thing that happens. So anyway, if you're on the fence about it, I'd urge you to take that leap. You've got the money back guarantee. It won't cost you anything. Otherwise, I hope that this has been insightful. And if you don't take it, don't stop, don't quit. Remove failure as an option from your business, and really go after it and get results and do what you're capable of. It's the who we become in the journey we never expect. You know, there's all the things that we don't even know that we don't know. And I find every year I look back and I'm like, man, a year ago I had no idea. And now I think I've got it all figured out. And then a year later, I'm like, man, I didn't know anything back then. I didn't even have a clue. So whether you take this with me or not, I'd urge you to find somebody that you can learn from. Don't do it on your own. The insights that other people have, read what you can, or take classes that you can. Keep pushing, and and that's what I've got. So this will be up for probably about I don't know. I think they're I think they were going to go to midnight or something like that. So don't hesitate. Join us. We'll be getting started Monday. It's going to be awesome. It could change your life, change your business. And otherwise, have a great night. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for joining me. Really grateful to share this with you. And if you know of anybody else that could benefit from this, then send them my way. All right. Thanks, guys.